TMZ, yo. Why the fuck y'all got me on the downfall of Diddy documentary? I don't give a fuck if that shit was for 2 seconds, 3 seconds. I should sue the shit out of all you bitches. And y'all got me up there looking like I had a fucking great time at his house, man. People sending me this shit. How in the fuck am I explaining this to anybody? First of all, Diddy don't even know who the fuck I am. I snuck in that bitch. Second of all, I wasn't even famous enough to go in the house. And I'm glad I didn't because shit is wild. We was only in the backyard, so technically I wasn't even at his house.
Welcome to the LifeScope channel. On your way in, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It's appreciated as always. So here we are again talking about another person that has come out to put a case on Diddy. Rapper Sean Diddy Combs is being sued yet again by model Crystal McKinney, who claimed she was coerced into having oral sex with him in 2003 in his New York City recording studio. This happened shortly after Combs claimed he accepted full responsibility for hitting his ex-girlfriend Cassie on camera. According to the latest lawsuit, which is the 6th allegation of sexual assault against Combs in several months, McKinney, 22 years old at the time, met Combs at a men's fashion week event held at a restaurant in Manhattan.
Crystal has evidence from the night Diddy allegedly assaulted her. It says, due to the traumatic events to occur later, plaintiff saved the unwashed clothing from that night in her closet, where they remain in a plastic wrap. Dang. So in other words, she saved her clothes from that night over 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. So even though she chose not to report the assault back then, she knew she would need it one day for proof.
So is she seeking a civil or criminal case in this situation?
I think it's past criminal. I think you got to do civil.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and these clothes can be submitted for evidence in the case. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm just curious to know. Like I said, I know before I even ask this question, sometimes, like what the case may be, people are fearful, but you chose not to report the assault back then. I mean, I know people are fearful, but I do remember when I reported it yesterday, she had said that she wanted her career in modeling so bad that he had promised her that, you know, although she was confused, she still went along with it.
No, she probably thought she was going to be blackballed, or, you know, he could shut down everything for her.
Or
she reported it back then.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then most people say they don't think people will believe them a lot of times when they are in these situations. Mm-hmm. They feel like nobody will believe them. And
especially,
that was probably the case.
It depends on who the abuser is as well. So, definitely. Okay.
Damn, Diddy did it again, or did he? Before we get into some things, let's talk about and read Cassie's response she put out. So Cassie said, "Thank you for all the love and support from my family, friends, strangers, and those I have yet to meet. The outpouring of love has created a place for my younger self to settle and feel safe now. But this is only the beginning. Domestic violence is the issue. It broke me down to someone I never thought I would become. With a lot of hard work, I am better today, but I will always be recovering from my past. Thank you to everyone that has taken the time to take this matter seriously. My only ask is that everyone open your heart to believing victims the first time. It takes a lot of heart to tell the truth out of a situation that you were powerless in. I offer my hand to those that are still living in fear. Reach out to your people, Don't cut them off. No one should carry this weight alone. This healing journey is never ending, but this support means everything to me. Thank you. Love always, Cassie. Now, for the past few days, a lot has come out. Everyone is stating their opinions, and it's their right to do so. Although I don't agree with some of the things that's being said, I do understand some of their points. For instance, let's take a look at what Craig said on the Corey Holcomb channel.
Stick up for Puff, I do.
What do you mean?
Go ahead.
Hey, man,
see, you wasn't here, so I want him to hear this shit.
Cassie ain't the bitch y'all think she is. I always say this, man. Domestic violence is not always abuse because some bitches like to fight. Cassie is the same woman that would go to Puff Daddy's house while Kim Porter was alive and watch Puffy beat on Kim, cuss Kim out, abuse Kim, and laugh at Kim. Kim's friends have came out and it's documented that they say Cassie used to be torturing Kim with Puff. She is not this victim broad that everybody is making her out to be. This is a treacherous bitch. Anytime a woman that is that beautiful is dating a nigga that is that regular looking, she's hustling her pussy. This is a woman that hustles vagina, and we treating her like she a Claire Huxtable or a respectable everyday woman. This bitch is a libido whore. She's libido hungry, and she's money hungry, and she's eating, sucking, and fucking on anybody that got the paper. That $30 million settlement she got, a portion of that should go to Kim's kids. Because you tortured Kim fucking with a married man to get to that paper. She used to be at Puff House while Kim was there on some super disrespectful shit. I'm spitting like a motherfucker.
But that don't mean that somebody needs to get beat down.
But if a woman participates in the abuse of another woman, why are all women sticking up for her? Some bitches deserve to get whooped on.
You don't know that for a fact.
Look it up. I mean, it's just
that she watched it, that she knew. Now, knowing is a different story because some people are so twisted in their mind that they might think that they can change somebody. Now, that might have been her mistake, but that's not deserving of her getting hit.
No, what
I'm
saying this is women are not a monolith. Y'all ain't all created the same. Sometimes when you see a woman getting her ass whooped, that's because she just robbed a nigga or she set a nigga up to get murdered, or all women ain't fucking victims. So I'm not about to run around here on this tape and act like all you bitches is good bitches.
We're
Some
not
of you
talking
bitches
about all bitches.
ain't
We're
shit.
talking about the Cassie thing. We're not talking about all bitches.
Cassie,
We're talking about that.
Why are you antagonizing for bitches?
I'm not antagonizing.
I'm just saying,
Cassie. We already
do you know
both.
Cassie?
No, I
do
know.
you think she had sex? Let me ask you a question. I don't know the bitch. I wouldn't piss on the bitch if she was on fire in the street.
We're all going on what we see.
Let me ask you a question.
On what we know, what we see.
Do you think that woman had sex with him after he whooped her?
100
Probably,
million times.
She stayed with him many years after that.
What the fuck is talking about?
That's not still.
I don't like the motherfucker. If a bitch whoop my ass, I'm through with you.
I'm not sticking up for men that whoop women. What I'm saying is, all women aren't victims. All women are not victims.
Right.
I usually catch the recording of Corey's shows every now and then, but I saw this show live and I was thinking, Craig was talking like he knew what happened, and until there is proof, sometimes all of us are going on what we see, hear, and good common sense. Now we know that nobody is innocent, and if people really thought that about Cassie, there wouldn't be so many people saying she is clout chasing for a bag. I do agree that everyone isn't a monolith, but keep in mind that men and women usually don't think the same. I don't think most people are trying to make excuses for Cassie because we literally saw her ass get yanked on video. So now that the video has come out, does that mean that some of those other claims are looking more true and less false? I want folks to keep in mind there is such a thing as break a bitch. Let's be honest, some people have seen it before, some folks have done it before, and some have been victims of it. this is just my opinion. If Diddy had the ability to put life-changing money in your pocket, but it comes at the cost of him being an asshole, would people still stick around? The answer is more than likely yes for most, because only a small number of people know when to walk away. Meanwhile, the person that chooses to stick around self-esteem takes a hit. The guy that participates in breaking a bitch tries to isolate the female from friends and family. The reason for keeping a female all to yourself and not sharing her with family and friends is to control her. Then the rest is to psych her out all the way up to getting physical to keep her in line. Now in Diddy's case, to me, he allegedly gets off on humiliating and pimping out his woman. So I believe Craig wasn't defending Diddy's actions, but he was pointing out that he feels Cassie isn't innocent. For me though, that's a separate issue when it comes to that video. I know people can be toxic together and bring out the worst in each other. But if the woman was trying to leave and Diddy running to stop her, that tells me he doesn't want her to go nowhere. I feel like if Cassie robbed him, that man would have pat her ass down, took his shit, and either beat her some more or told her to get the hell on. Anyway, enough about that for now. Let's move on to some recent news.
We're also following some breaking news out of Southwest Ranches, where there is a big police presence at a home belonging to singer Sean Kingston.
This includes the SWAT team. Local 10 News reporter Roy Ramos is live at the scene.
And you have some breaking details to bring us, I understand, Roy.
Well, Christy and Janice, we have just learned that this is the home of singer and producer Sean Kingston. We are standing right off of Griffin Road and 178th Avenue. Off in the distance there, we were watching as these deputies were initially standing outside of the home, but in the last 15 minutes or so, I can tell you that they have now moved inside. Let's go ahead and show you what this all looked like when we first arrived here. Sky 10 up above the Southwest Ranches, home of well-known recording artist Keyshawn Anderson, I should say, but you may know him as Sean Kingston. It's outside. We spotted more than a dozen Broward Sheriff deputies next to a command center. Investigators set up in the driveway of the musician's home. In a complaint we obtained from the Broward Clerk of Courts, we learned that a company by the name of Ver Entertainment alleges that Kingston partially paid for a 232-inch television and entertainment system, but following the installation, never paid for that product in full, allegedly. The complaint also goes on to allege Kingston used his name and celebrity status to scam people out of products and services, never paying for them. Well, I just spoke with the attorney, Dennis Card, who represents Ver Entertainment. Here's what he told me.
He has basically a sales pitch that he goes through to defraud people. He induces them into giving them really expensive things. We know that our property is inside this house right here. So as soon as the raid takes place, we're going to have a crew of people in there to deassemble it and take it back to its rightful owner.
And I can tell you that relatives for Kingston were outside of the property. We did try to speak with them. However, they said that they had no comment at this time. As for Sean Kingston, we still have yet to see him here on the property, but at this time the complaint alleges he could be facing charges that include fraud and breach of contract. As soon as we hear back from his representatives, we will be sure to let you know. For now, here in Southwest Ranches, Roy Ramos, Local 10 News.
According to records made public on Friday, rapper and singer Sean Kingston, along with his mother, stole money, jewelry, a Cadillac Escalade, and furniture totaling up to $1 million worth of fraud in recent months. Arrest warrants released by the Broward County Sheriff's Office charged 34-year-old Kingston and his 61-year-old mother, Janice Turner, with operating an organized plan to defraud, grand theft, identity theft, and associated crimes. Following a SWAT team raid on Kingston's rented property in the Fort Lauderdale suburbs, the two were taken into custody on Thursday. Turner was taken into custody during the raid, and Kingston was taken into custody while giving a performance at Fort Irwin, an Army training facility in the Mojave Desert of California. The singer, Kingston, is being held at a California jail awaiting his return to Florida. If permitted, Kingston would return willingly, according to Robert Rosenblatt, the performer's attorney representing the Jamaican performer and his mother. This would save the state the expense of extradition and the cost of travel for the detectives and Sean, Rosenblatt said on Friday. Okay, so that was from an article that I paraphrased, and I got a few questions. Even though there is $1 million worth of merchandise, how much time did Sean Kingston have to pay it back? And how did he commit fraud if he used his own name to get those items? Now, I know there's still a lot of details missing, but I think Sean Kingston's house getting raided and him and his mom getting arrested is excessive. I mean, were they selling any of this merchandise or just keeping it? As always, let me know what you think, and don't forget to support the channel. Until next time.